Hi, Senator Kevin Cramer, live from our studio in Bismarck. Lots happening today out of D.C. So, Senator, I'm not sure how much of a chance you've had to see any of this because I know you've been extremely busy. And the president of Finland was in town. There was I would say, another epic press conference with him and President Trump. A reporter stood up and said, hey, you had this conversation with the president of Ukraine. You brought up Joe Biden. You know, what were you hoping to get out of that conversation? I want to share with you a little bit of this exchange and give you a chance to respond, sir.
Sure.
What did you want about Biden? What did you want him to look into on Biden?
Look, Biden and his son are stone cold crooked, and you know it. His son walks out with millions of dollars. The kid knows nothing. You know it, and so do we.
Joe Biden and his son are stone cold crooked. Your reaction, sir?
Well, I just don't think the president should beat around the bush on these things so much, Chris. Here's the refreshing thing about Donald Trump. What's in his heart, what's in his head comes out of his mouth, full transparency, full disclosure, and most importantly, there's great integrity and authenticity. Now, of course, what the president's referring to is Joe Biden bragging about the fact that he basically blackmailed or extorted, if you will, the firing of a prosecutor who is onto this sweetheart deal that his son got from an oil company, a corrupt oil company in Ukraine, and the vice president. Now remember, this was while Joe Biden was the vice president of the United States, withheld $1 billion of American taxpayer dollars that were to be used for military support for Ukraine. So instead of beating around the bush and having a bunch of hearings, he just said what is obvious, I think.
Which I think is look, everyone loves President Trump's authenticity. I think where people are struggling right now, Senator, we've got a limited amount of time here, sir, but is the fact that, and President Trump said this today, and I'm quoting him, he says, look, Nancy Pelosi hands out subpoenas like they're cookies. And I would say most people would agree with that. So where is the GOP Senate? If Joe Biden and his son are truly crooked, why is no one calling Joe Biden or Hunter Biden to come and testify?
Well, first of all, impeachment begins in the House. We have to remember that. Remember that our president's on defense. That's both the upside and the downside of being the party in power in the presidency. With regard to the Senate, the Senate doesn't have a general oversight committee. They have a judiciary committee. They have a foreign affairs committee. They have an intelligence committee. We have all these other committees that have certain parts of the jurisdiction. I think to quote Lindsey Graham, we want to play smart. You see what the Democrats are doing. They're trying to throw everything, including the kitchen sink, at the same exact time because this long, drawn-out, crazy thing with Mueller proved to be nothing. It just wasted millions of dollars in a couple of years of America's history. So they're not going to take that risk again. They know this thing's going to unravel over time. So they're trying to get this impeachment thing done as fast as they can before Christmas while it's sort of hot. And I don't see any reason why we shouldn't let them keep trying to do it while we methodically look at things like what is the genesis of the Mueller investigation? How is it that a judge issued a warrant warrants on false information that was paid for by the Clinton campaign and things like we'll get to it, but they're going through it in a smart way that at the end of it produces a good product, not just a flame out.
Which may be fair, sir. But I got 30 seconds left. Is the fact that now you've got the Democrats driving the narrative, and so now all of a sudden this IG report drops, and everyone's just going to be more confused. And I guess what people are struggling to understand is how is it? You said, hey, let's fight smart. I got literally 15 seconds, sir. Right. But how is it fighting smart by a lot of people would say sitting on your hands?
Well, if you want high drama and a lot of screaming and shouting that ends up with nothing, we could do that. But that's not really, that's not the way of the Senate for the most part. I'm a little more like that, obviously, than most. So I understand the frustration, and I'll always shoot off my mouth, Chris. But I understand people's frustrations. But at the end of the day, if we want to get something done, we want to do it in a methodical way that has the right outcome at the end.
All right. Senator Cramer, we really appreciate the time, sir. Thank you for bringing in the secretary. You got another cabinet member coming in again. So thank you for all you're doing. We appreciate it.
3 in 1 week. That's the Trump administration.
I'm giving you the virtual tip of the hat, sir. So we'll see you soon, and we got to wrap it up there. But stick around. We're going to wrap things up right after this.